everyone, it's Elle from Elle and Maze here, and thank you for coming back to my channel. I just wanted to come on here and express my heartbreak over my cancelled trip. I was meant to be departing for Disneyland Paris today, and it was going to be my Christmas trip. Now, it's a bit of a bittersweet situation because I understand that so many people have had so many heartbreaks lately, and I understand it's an incredibly difficult time, and some people have had some horrific tragedies this year and have had many trips cancelled. So for those people, I truly do want to say sorry. I don't want to come across as sounding greedy or I don't know, it's such a weird situation, isn't it? I wouldn't want to seem like I was just staying my own heartbreak when really there are so many bigger things going on in the world. But in this community, it is a Disney community and we are all there for each other. So I just wanted to come on and say that I was meant to be going to Disneyland Paris today, and this trip has been pretty much the bane of my life since I booked it. So basically when sort of COVID started to seem a bit better over the summer, my partner Jamie and I, he's never been to Disneyland Paris with me before, and I really wanted to take him, especially at Christmas. So we were keeping an eye on the parks over the summer, and France hadn't had the 2-week quarantine for the UK at that time, so it came to September and we saw a really good deal. It was to stay in Santa Fe. We booked the Eurostar separately, but it was to stay in Santa Fe for 2 nights, 3-day parks, free breakfast and €100 gift card, which turned out to be, I think it was like £270 each. So for that price, I just said to Jamie, we can't not go. It's such a good price as long as we're careful, as long as we're safe, and make sure we have the proper medical grade masks. We both said, why not book it, and we'll try and go at Christmas, have a little bit of magic at the end of the year. Then France imposed a quarantine for 2 weeks. I'm currently working from home, as is Jamie, so we both said, okay, even though there's now a quarantine, we'll still try to go. And then we just had a nightmare with the Eurostars getting cancelled. So we had our direct Eurostar trains cancelled. What that meant was, when we were leaving St Pancras in the morning and then getting to Disneyland at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it then meant that we were getting there at 6 PM with the indirect train. But because Disneyland Paris was working on the reduced hours, it meant it was closing at 6 PM. Then leaving, coming home, we were meant to be on the 8 PM train leaving, which meant we would have had the whole day in the park. Our train got changed to midday, so then what that meant was we'd only have 1 full day in Disneyland Paris to try and do the whole of the park and also Hollywood Studios, so we just couldn't do that. So what we decided to do was add on an additional night the day before we were meant to be arriving. Disneyland were fantastic. Added an extra night. We had to do it as a separate booking though, because if they amended our original booking, it meant we'd lose the free breakfast and the €100 gift card. So I was like, okay, we don't need park tickets because our train doesn't get there till 6 PM. We'll just book 1 night. And they said, you may have to check out and change rooms. I said, that's absolutely fine. So an additional night cost us, I think it was £90, £100 or something like that. Really not expensive at all. So we did that thinking, okay, now we're going to have 2 full days in the park. Doesn't matter if we're doing indirect trains, it will be worth it. Managed to get the additional time off work. But then Disneyland Paris closed. So we'd just done so many changes already and tried to make everything work. When Disneyland Paris closed, it was a nightmare. So Disneyland Paris were fantastic. They basically issued their refund straight away. Now I did get that back within about a week. Obviously had to get 2 refunds because I had technically 2 different bookings, but I did receive it very, very quickly, so I cannot fault Disneyland Paris at all. When I spoke to them on the phone, they were so helpful. Obviously they tried to rebook us, but we couldn't confirm any time next year, obviously, because of all the issue with the holiday leave and everything. So they said no problem to get a refund, and it was back in my bank a week later. Absolutely fantastic customer service. I'm just so pleased, and it just made an already stressful situation so much better. I know not everyone has received that kind of easy cancellation, but I think this time round, because they've had so many months, literally since March, of nightmare with refunds and returns of money, because they actually closed this time, I think they've just issued it so much quicker. I also know, working in the travel industry, that they issue refunds on date of departure, and because we were going so soon at the point of cancellation, we were due to travel like 3 weeks later. I think that's why we got the money back so quickly. Eurostar has been an absolute nightmare, so I kept calling them basically. I called them the same week that I heard Disneyland Paris was cancelled, and they said the trains aren't cancelled yet. And I said, but Disneyland Paris is closed. And they said, but the trains are still running. We can't give you a refund unless the trains cancel. I was like, right. They said, phone next week. So phone the next week, and I spoke to a really nice lady on the Monday actually, which was 2 weeks ago, and she said, look, again, unless they're cancelled, we can't give you a refund. She said, however, I do know that they're having a big meeting today, a big board meeting about everything. Maybe give us a call back at 5 PM today. You have until tomorrow lunchtime to change or exchange your ticket for free, because basically the ticket that we were on, we can change it up to 2 weeks before departure at no fee. So you've got until lunchtime tomorrow to change it. Give us a call back later and I can recheck that for you. So I did, no update. She was like, call back tomorrow. I was like, right, okay. So I'd already spoken to Eurostar about 3 times at this point. I understand it's really, really tough for them as well, and I understand they have the policies, unless it's cancelled they can't issue the refund. But my issue was Disneyland Paris was closed. So I just don't know how that they were still running the trains. They were saying that because my trains were indirect via Lille, that part of the train may still run, and that wasn't technically Eurostar. That was like the local in between Lille and Disneyland Paris. So I was just like, this is a nightmare. I know I work in travel, but anything to do with my own holidays, it just is a great big headache for me. So then I called the next day and she said, yep, you've got until lunchtime to change your train, but there's been no update. I said, right. I said, I really don't know what to do. I said, should I just leave my booking and risk that they might get cancelled? She said, you can. She said, but if they don't get cancelled, you lose all your money for the Eurostar. I was like, right, okay. She said, however, if you change it, you can change it to any date next year, and if you can't do that date, you've got the flexible tickets. So that means as long as you change your date before 2 weeks before departure, you can just keep putting it back and back and back, providing the dates are available. So I spoke to Jamie and I said, what do you think we should do? He was like, just change the tickets. He said, change it to any date, and then you never know, we might be able to go to Disneyland Paris. If not, maybe we could try and go to Paris for the weekend. Not Disneyland. We can just see if we can try and use the Eurostar at some point next year. But I'd rather do that than just risk losing the money. So we did that. I changed it to March next year. Looked at Disneyland Paris prices just in case I can wangle a day off work or whatever that may be. And I think it was coming in just for the hotel Santa Fe again, park tickets, about £530 for 2 people, which is brilliant. It's really, really good. However, everyone knows after Christmas and going into the new year, money is very tight. That, thrown with the COVID situation this year and people not earning as much, and the fact that we have Disney World at the end of next year, I just don't think I can justify that money, which just breaks my heart even more. So we'll see, but so far we changed our Eurostar to March next year, and I think we're just going to keep putting it back and back and back. The worst thing was this week, bearing in mind was meant to be going today, I got emails from both Eurostar and the local rail service in France saying my trains were cancelled. So obviously I can't get a refund now because I've changed my ticket. So in a way I wish I had waited so I could have got that money back, but it is the gamble that you take with this situation. So Jamie and I tried to go away and have a nice Christmas break in Disneyland Paris. We only booked it in September when we knew the parks were quiet, which was just such a nice time to go. I know there's no parades or fireworks, but I've done that many times before, and it's not something that Jamie's overly fussed about really. It's more so the rides for him. So the fact that the parks were going to be really, really quiet and we could stay in the Disney hotel for that kind of cost, it was just a no-brainer to try and go and have a bit of Christmas magic in our lives, but it was not meant to be. I've got over the upset now. Really feeling weird all day today, but it's just one of those things. At the end of the day, I'm very, very grateful for my health, for Jamie's health, my family's health, and our family's health. I'm so sorry for anyone who has had any tragedies with this year or any horrific heartbreak. I really feel for you, and I know that this isn't a tragedy by any means, but it's just one of those things where when you've been working so hard and had a lot of stress, you do cling to the little things, and this was one of those things, and it just couldn't happen. So if anyone has had their trips cancelled and just want to vent, share your heartbreak with me, please do. I was meant to be in Disneyland Paris today right up until Friday, so it's going to be a very weird week being at home. The UK is also in lockdown, so we can't even go out anywhere. I can't even go to the Disney store or do something like that to make myself feel better. I was going to use my €100 gift card to buy a Spirit jersey. Obviously couldn't do that, so I have bought one from the Disney store. I was actually born in 1992, so I really love the fact that it has that date on there. It's just the black and white one because it can go with everything. So I'm wearing that today just to try and give myself a bit of Disney magic. And I put my Christmas tree up yesterday. So watch out for that video. That will be coming next week, and you can see all of my little Disney bits that I've put up around the house, which has definitely made me feel better. I hope everyone stays safe. Thank you for listening to me through my venting of the stress with this and the fact that we can't go, but fingers crossed to better travel for next year, that Disneyland Paris does reopen for the 2 weeks over Christmas and properly again next year, and fingers crossed we can get back to normal soon so we can get back to Disney. Let me know, like I said, if you had any trips cancelled. I'd love to hear from you, and please like, comment and subscribe. Speak to you soon. Bye.